Oh, durka durka durka.
Welcome to another shitty review of a knife you never heard of. This one being the Miguron Perism. And since I'm a big fucking Miguron fanboy, you're gonna see a whole bunch of those knives later. I bought this thing as soon as I could, and I think this is gonna be the first review of this knife on the internet, which makes me very, very proud of myself. Very proud of myself. The other thing, you may be wondering, if you're a fellow Miguron fanboy, I don't know that color. What color is that? Well, I decided today I bought this knife in white, and I did my first try ever dyeing. So I bought these two dyes. I watched a couple videos, and I picked out a color. Rit has a nice website. It was supposed to be more of like a lavenderish grayish, but it turned out really well. But Rit, and then you want this synthetic one, go to the website. They have they have sort of like a color picker, color palette thing where you can figure out how to mix colors. And it was easy. So yeah, I don't know. I watched a couple videos about it, and it just made everything seem way harder than it is. It just put some fucking dye in a pot of boiling water, and then take your knife apart, get a coat hanger, thread it through the holes, and fucking leave it in there for 15 minutes, and then come back and check it. And if you don't like it and it's too light, then leave it in longer. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. It's very easy. So, the fuck. This knife. All right. Some specs. This is a medium to full size knife. It is slightly smaller than I like, but it's very practical. It is 8 inches in length, a 3¼ inch blade this one's black PVD, and it's got a 3-part grind here. It is D2. One of the great, most of the Miguron knives I have are 14C28M, but this is a really cheap one, and they just came out with it. So it's D2. It came really sharp. One thing about D2, I think it's a pain in the ass. This is like top 20 percentile, top 30 percentile sharp. One of the things, like, D2 is fine, right? And it's just a little harder to sharpen. So I do want, if I buy a knife in D2, I want it to be sharp. Because if it's not, it's going to be effort on my part to get it sharp. And so this is sharp. So 27 bucks. So you can get it at White Mountain Knives. You get a 10% discount. Sorry, this is 27 bucks after discount. It's like 30 bucks. Use a code LTK, and you'll get that 10%. Unlike a lot of Miguron knives, it's got a regular pocket clip, not a titanium milled pocket clip. Pretty standard in that they're a little wider. They don't nest their liners on these budget knives, and it's a little wider, which I like. This is pretty comfortable clip in terms of my hand, because it seems like it sort of fits nicely this, whatever, I don't know, this part of my, what even is that? What do you call that thing? It's not a knuckle. Is it anyway, it's pretty comfortable. Let's compare it to some of these other knives. So first off, for size comparison, because, jeez, fucking, you'd think it would be, it's not even that great of a flicker. There we go. It's fine. Because every fucking third-rate knife reviewer on YouTube has to compare to a Para 3 and a Para 2. Well, I don't own a Para 2, but here it is as a Para against the Para 3. And the knife that I never carry. A little bit longer, and obviously not this eyeball. Now, other Miguron knives, the Valona. So pretty similar, right? The Valona, this is with a satin finish, kind of dirty, but the Valona is a little bit bigger, slightly bigger handle. This is the small Valona, sorry, not the 4-inch blade. This is the 3.5-inch Valona, and it's just a little bit bigger in both handle and blade. Really pretty similar. The Tacog, which is another cheap one, like it is, so Tacog's pretty small, really good front flipper action, and it's also cheap. It is 14C28N, but it has a cheap pocket clip, like this one does. The Acri, which some people like, but not really my favorite, but it is big, and it's a big front flipper. Pretty tough looking knife. This guy's sort of surprisingly big, actually, always to me. Then the Pagos 2. Great front and rear flick on this. My favorite rear flick. Rear thumb stud flick. I like this guy. Need to come back to this guy. Really good action on this. And so that is darn close too, huh? So this is slightly bigger than the Pagos 2. Slightly. So, you know, it's a very, I don't know, it's a very practical size. It's just feels a tiny bit small for me. The Moyaro, which is really excellent. And then last but not least, maybe least, no, not least, actually. I do like this. This is the Carix 2 Carta. All right, so here's the knife lineup of them from me, the Miguron fanboy, and just by process of elimination, getting it to the closest ones here, just in case you wanted to more closely compare. So here's my guy here, the Perism, and in blade shape, slightly bigger than the Pagos 2 again, and it's just a little bit different in blade shape. So it's really like a little bit more of the, well, it's really like a slight remix on the Valona in D2. So, you know, it's a really good option for 30 bucks. And the white, if the white is a great, you know, base for doing the dyeing thing. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I mean, I think it's like probably the best looking, exterior looking of any of the knives, because it's got some interest here in the G10. Everything else is pretty plain. Here's the Valona. So, yeah, not bad. D2, most of the other ones are 14C28N, the cheaper pocket clip, but in practical ways, in size and weight, this is like the perfect weight for me. The fact that it's cheap, it's a pretty good option. Pretty good option. All right, congratulations on making it to the end of this video.